Yeah. So, my first question was obviously why the name Breakfast with Jetsons?
Well, we were doing music one day, and Don actually came up with it. He can explain it a bit more. I believe it came from one of your tracks, right?
Yeah, Breakfast with the Jetsons was just a line from an old song that I wrote back in the day. I forgot exactly what the line was, but it was a song. It was a song about some spaceship, basically, and I think the song had something to do with I arrived late because I was having breakfast with the Jetsons, something like that. And I just really fucked with that line, and so it always kind of stuck in my head. So when it kind of came back around that he was talking about the idea of a podcast, maybe 4 years ago now.
I think so, man. It might be 5.
A long time ago when we were first talking about this. So just basically us talking that out, I just kind of brought up that idea, and we thought that'd be a good name. It was originally going to be just kind of a breakfast show that we did live on camera on YouTube, but of course it's changed into a bunch of different things now. And that's what it is today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, they do a lot of things. If you haven't noticed or followed them on Instagram, please do. Breakfast with the Jetsons, okay? They have their visuals for artists out there who want to get some music out, some visuals for it. They have interviews, which we are now collabing on as well. So if you want to interview from us, just hit us up, okay?
Sure.
And on 3 is the fact that we are also going to be doing music reviews. So if you have any music out there that you just dropped, or maybe you haven't even dropped yet, you just want some different ears to listen, unbiased, hit us up. We got you. So my second question would definitely be, what projects have you done as a collab, like since you've been doing Breakfast with the Jetsons, that you're most proud of right now? And you guys ever answered one of these things?
I don't want to sound corny, but honestly, probably right now. I really think, like,
Yeah, actually.
yeah, like me and him talking like back and forth about just like building the team and just like progressing, and like just right now feels like the best time, just of Breakfast with the Jetsons.
I would say right now, yeah, because right now we're just going in the fastest motion that we've ever been since we started.
Yeah.
Most moves being made this year ever so far, you know what I'm saying? We're finally starting to monetize things and get things together on that side. So yeah, right now, basically season 4 is our best project so far.
Yeah.
And I am happy and humble to be here, okay? Like, literally, y'all know, like, some of my old head poetry and politics, like, we had ourselves a little break, you know what I'm saying? Had to get it together because I knew when I came back, I wanted to be crazy. And now, look, the collab is crazy, so everything coming together perfectly. So, period, that's all I have to say. Since what this is what we're doing now, where do you see us being in the next 10 years?
10 years, honestly, that's a good question. 10 years, we probably gonna be doing everything, to be honest with you.
What we were talking about last night, eventually, is we do want to have a physical building.
Yeah.
A physical place to have all of our stuff in one place that everybody can meet at.
I like that.
That's our next probably. Hopefully next project.
And honestly, like I said before, honestly, I'm like trying not to be floored right now because I'm supposed to be the interviewer, but I'm definitely floored. So I just want to say thank y'all, you know what I'm saying, for even considering me to partner with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been making moves, but I make moves in silence. So the fact that y'all peep, like, that really means a lot. So
No, for sure. I told Don, like, the minute after we had that first interview with you, it was like, yo, like, she is great at communication. Like, I think she would be, like, we were interviewing you, but I was like, yo, she would be perfect to do it. And we were just thinking about just expanding and just adding people to the team and stuff, and be like, yo, like, I really want to know, like, if she'd be interested, because, like I said, you're perfect at that. Like, we love the interview. That was one of the best interviews we did, season 3. So, yeah.
Honestly, before we even did the interview, went into it saying, yo, we gotta ask her to collab with us. Like, before we even did the interview, he was already ready to ask me that.
that's
And
crazy.
I was like, I bet.
I was masterminded too. Now I can say that out loud.
Okay.
As soon as I seen y'all page, I seen your Joe, okay? Please. Oh, my homie might get more.
Shout out Mikey in the
Leg,
background,
appreciate
you know
you,
what I'm
yo. As soon as I saw that Joe, I was like, oh yeah, they like that. So I was like, oh yeah. I started applying in my head. I was like, when I come, I need to present, and I need to go. That's what I did. So
That's hard.
through.
Yeah, everyone's thinking alike.
Period. So, like we said, music, visuals, interviews, music reviews. We was also talking about some other ideas too. I know y'all had a lot, and I had a lot. So it's like now we gotta sift through all these different things because I'm telling you, we're about to pop off. Like, what is, you said this is season 4 for y'all now?
Season 4.
By season 5, it's gonna get wild. Okay. Woo. So, are you guys self-taught? 'Cause I know you come from a similar but different background, and you come from a similar different background. I see how you guys were able to blend together all the things that you guys do. So, were you guys self-taught, or did you guys go to school for this? Was it kind of like you did in high school, a couple classes in college? You know?
For me, definitely self-taught, but my mother actually did radio when I was younger. So I was always used to watching her just do it on her own, making edits. Like, so I would just say about like, not directly, but indirectly, I was always like learning, sitting and peeping like the media stuff, like from her. Yeah, and then with me and him at the same time, big fans of Joe Budden podcast. Really just sitting and watching it, and we were doing music, and there was a point to where we were doing music, but it was like we couldn't really get any interviews ourselves. So we kind of came with the idea of like, yo, like, how about we start our own podcast? We can be active musicians and active podcasters at the same time. Like, we can't get any interviews, we do interviews ourselves. So, like, on my end, that's kind of how it started and stuff.
I say on my end, yeah, it's definitely more self-taught. I've always just been into writing music. I've always done that since a young age. And I've always just kind of been into that scene, looking at other people studying music and just kind of being that thing. But never imagined myself doing a podcast or something talkative when I was younger. It was kind of more of an idea Brent brought to me, and I just kind of came more around to it when we talked about it. And we eventually found a way to blend our ideas and make this work.
For sure.
Definitely make it work. Okay. So that concludes my questions as of right now. Do y'all have any questions for me, or does anybody want to have any questions? Drop it in the comments. Let us know. You know, this is not just for us chatting this for y'all too, because we definitely want anybody who's interested to get involved, because we're trying to get booked and busy, and we're trying to make you booked and busy too. You know what I'm saying? Feed off the energy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
For me, as far as poetry and politics directly, where do you see that going? Do you have anything specifically you want to do, like as far as changing or adding to it?
It's like I'm torn in my head because the foundation of poetry and politics was being able to vibe out people's music, but also giving outlook into what I see going on in current events wise. And also it was like COVID first hit, so I had nothing else to do, and I wanted to talk about something because it was crazy. So after that, people started watching. I was like, all right, cool. But now I also feel like I want to also involve other things involving music, because what I'm doing now is good, but I want to be better. So that's why when you guys came to me, it was like, look, I want to collab with y'all. I'm like, okay, boom. Like, it's just another level that we can get on. So poetry and politics wouldn't be nothing without y'all. So it's like, whatever we do, same thing, same brand, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I would just ask, did you ever imagine yourself doing something like that when you were younger, or did you were thinking you'd be on just doing music?
Honestly, I've always been in love with just live television, cameras, because that's what I grew up with. Like, I was in church, I went to a mega church, so we have live services. I went from being a camera person, figuring out what camera shots were, listening to the dude in my headset, you know what I'm saying, to maybe 1, 2, 3 years later, I'm in the booth, all these different TVs, I'm looking at all the different cameras, and I'm calling the shots. And that's before I even got to college. So by the time I got out of high school, I worked at a live TV station, and after that, I was like, I want to be the person in the booth every single time. Like, I'm good on being a camera person, I don't mind it, but when it's live TV, like, it's just a different feeling versus when you got footage and then you're editing it. It's like a totally different rush. And I just feel like live, it's probably why I like doing the lives on my Instagram, you know? So,
For sure. That's fine.
I'm trying to make it different cameras, different screens, you know what I'm saying? Really live TV. So I guess it's your last question soon.
I try to get better at live, but it's just sometimes I just be either high as fuck, so it's awkward the whole time, or just like for real, like it just be like, all right, cool. Let me get the people engaged. Just be looking there, watch people run, just
Yeah.
But yeah, I've tried to just get better at doing things like live and just like in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you went to a mega church. Are you from Richmond?
No, I'm from Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey. I moved to Richmond maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, 2017.
Okay.
So it's definitely been a different experience here. Obviously, I miss my friends in Jersey, but I've definitely made some really dope connections here too. And I told myself I wasn't really going to be here after X amount of years, and now I feel like I'm going to have to be here for a longer amount of time. But that's fine with me, you know, it's not a problem. I just feel like it's definitely more opportunities out here for me in this moment. So I'm going to take it.
What's working like at a mega church like?
Honestly, it's one of those things where if you don't love it, it's not really for you. Like, it's obviously people want to be able to give back to the community and things like that, which is great. And whatever service that you want to do it. Community service is great. But I know for me, camera work is one of those things where you got to have an eye for it too, you know? You can have a camera person and it's great that they're there, but if they don't really know the basics, then it's hard to do things live. Versus if it was pre-recorded, then you can edit it. So as the person in the booth, maybe you have 4 camera people, but 2 of them might not be experienced. Now you're trying to work with the 2 camera people that you got and then try to fit in the other 2 when you can. It's things like that stick with me, and then just the buttons and the keys, like I just miss it. Like I miss it so much, and it's like I would love to get that kind of opportunity again, or do it for myself. So.
We gotta build that.
Right? Live TV, I'm telling you, it's a different feeling. You just gotta come prepared, honestly. And it's like some people can go up there and vibe out, but at the end of the day, when you look at people like Joe Budden or what's his name, Joe Rogan, or all these other big podcasters out there, at the end of the day, they got a topic for what they're talking about, and they're using that topic to fill up time.
Yeah.
So if you can't have anything to say after 5 minutes, you need to find a different topic to talk about.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. So, yeah.
Should somebody do that door? No, it could be Cam. I don't know.
Well, anyway. Before you're in politics, do you plan, at one point you were doing it live, right, like in person?
No, I think it's always been on my phone. It's either sometimes I might have people helping me, you know what I'm saying, with the setup and things like that. And sometimes I do it by myself. It just depends.
True.
Sometimes I'm actually with the person I'm interviewing. So me and them are face to face, but I got it live on my Instagram. So it just depends.
Who's probably the favorite person you've interviewed so far? What have you got, like a couple?
Justin is prime.
Okay.
He was the first person who came to my show, so big ups to him.
For sure. Shout out.
Bobby Sage, because me and him
Shout out
had
Bobby.
a lovely conversation, and Bobby, I love you.
Probably a mad shout out.
Yeah. I had Shayla Soul on there. Shout out to Open All That Soul on Tuesdays. Okay. And I'm trying to get 7 from Melodic Mondays on there next. That's another person at 7. If you see this, hit me up. And yeah, I'm just trying to hit up all my really dope female artists right now in the area. So if anyone's interested, I definitely want to talk to. We definitely got some really dope people coming up soon, so you gotta be on the lookout for that. Shout out to Monty coming on Monday. All right, so you can find that live on here. Poetry and Politics. Follow us and follow Breakfast with the Jetsons.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
I don't have anything else at the moment. That was a little introduction for me.
What you got, Mikey?
Shit. Let's see.
I was like, we got time. What you got?
So what inspired you to start making podcasts?
Talking to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, just loving film and camera work and things like that, and just wanted to try for myself. And I took classes in high school with video editing and things like that, so that definitely kick-started to using Final Cut Pro. It was really cool when you knew how to use it. So I just felt like if I took those same tools and then tried to do something for myself, it would be pretty cool. And I came out with 1 episode that was actually like completed, and it wasn't live. It was actually, you know, post-edit footage that I had to put together. So that's definitely a harder, you know, thing for me to do, but I wanted to challenge myself, and I challenged myself, and I did it. And I'm like, okay, great, but I want to do this, but I don't want to take up all this time trying to do it. I want to be boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, am I going to have to sit here and learn how to edit faster? Or am I just going to do a live for an hour and then after that I get out the way and I go on with my day?
For sure.
And that's what I chose to do. So, yeah.
Editing life be crazy, man.
Crazy. Big up to y'all.
Yeah, my editing going on the west side over there, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a follow up. So for everybody that's obviously in presence right now, what is your biggest inspiration to what you're doing right now? Like what, whatever it is. Like what's your biggest inspiration that's like making you go forward in your craft right now?
For me, it would be a split question. One would be my mother. She's just been an inspiration in like everything I've done, like start to finish. She's been very encouraging from the start of us doing music. Like back then, she's been encouraging since then. And the second one would be myself, honestly, bro. Like I've been gotten to points where I start to inspire myself and keep on going. Like, yeah, that's probably it for me.
Yeah, for me, it's probably about the same thing. I would say myself for one, because, you know, I just got to get moving, you know what I'm saying? I like proving different things to myself and that I can do different things. And it's my peoples, man. I like saying my peoples do well, my peoples eat good. I want to always get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Damn sure.
Honestly, I have the same answers as them, my family and myself, because without my family, I wouldn't be here right now. And there's times where I critique myself when other people critique me. So I need to fight that battle internally. And I feel like as I start to lean off on myself, sometimes be like, look, it's okay. Like, you're good. You know what I'm saying? And actually give myself props, then I'm able to flourish a little bit more. Because I can, you know, be your own worst enemy sometimes. And I'm not trying to do that. And that's probably why some things in my life that could have happened sooner happen a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that. So, yeah.
No, that I feel like. For sure.
Hey, it's a common thing you feel as an artist, though.
Yeah.
It's real artist shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was having that struggle.
Ooh, I have a question now.
What's up?
Your best performance and your worst performance. Everybody needs to say their answer.
You talking about like live performance? Or
Live performance. Because that's a one-take drink right there. That's all you get. Shoot, I'll even go first to one so y'all can think.
For sure.
So, my worst performance, it had to be probably like my second show. It was at the Camel, and that place was rocking that night. And if you know me as an artist, you know I don't really fit in with the rap, you know, scene. Like, I can spit my bars, but I'm gonna be spitting about my feelings. I'm not gonna be spitting about anything else. So when I go up on stage, yeah, to me it's hard. Everybody else in the audience kind of just standing there. And mind you, I just got to Richmond, so I didn't know anybody. Like, except for a handful of people, you know what I'm saying, who was actually in the music scene. So I'm just sitting there, I get off stage, and I'm like, damn, like, did I do good or not? And I was just like, whoa. Mind you, it was like the first time me actually being on stage with like mad people there. And I was just like, whoa. I was honestly taken aback. And on top of that, nobody knew me, so when I went on stage, it was kind of like dead ass silent, like you hear somebody cough in the audience, it's like, damn,
That's
like,
how it be.
not a clap,
That's how
nothing.
it be. Not encouraging at all.
I was like, dang, so proud. But yeah, but if anything, that just kind of, it hurt for a second, but then if anything, by the next show, like, I had people who was saying I was trash, trying to come up to me and work. And even if it wasn't for music, I was doing other things that would make them interested. So I'm like sitting there, how the tables turn, and yeah, sure, I can work with you, or maybe I won't, just depends, because you might have said something and you didn't know who I knew at the time, and even if I didn't know him at that point, if I knew him later on, and they came back and told me something, I'm gonna be looking at you like, okay, interesting. But yeah, best performance, I just thought that was crazy. But best performance, probably had to be at Open All That Soul, because when I say that live band be hitting every Tuesday night. So definitely pop out to Sunday Service Soul Food for Open All That Soul, okay?
For sure.
But yeah, best and worst.
I think I figured out mine. So the best one, I was with Mikey and our boy Jay. We were in DC. You remember that performance? The winner of that performance got a place at the A3C festival. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But we killed that shit. Like we've always like growing up, like I always refer to like the Misfits and shit, but that's what that is. Like us three, we would do music constantly and perform constantly. That was the best one we had. We were killing it like back to back. Everybody killed that shit. Then like.
Wasn't there a fight outside?
Yeah, okay, so like, it went downhill. So like we were like probably second to last, third to last, killed our shit, having like, maybe like 1 or 2 other people finished there. So they finished and I don't even remember how it like ended. Like I think you remember how it ended?
Nah,
Like, somehow we ended up outside and then we was cool, like we were hyped, like we know we killed that shit. And then Trey got the information. Trey was like our manager back then. He got the information we won, but then did the fight break out before we left?
Yeah, it happened before we left because like.
That's why we left. Yeah, okay.
Because there was a fight broke, but like literally there was like a couple more acts, but like they didn't even get to perform because dudes started fighting outside, so they had to like end the performance or the contest early because dudes was outside fighting. So like as far as we knew, we won that joint because the other 2 performers couldn't perform, like,
but
because niggas is outside fighting, like.
Never got to perform, bro. I don't know what happened. Like I don't know if Trey lost the contact, but we never got to perform. Absolute worst was I think I was performing with him.
I wonder if we have the same one. I'm curious.
We were downtown, and it was some people in your fraternity, or like people was cool with your fraternity. Like it was at the Kingdom, I think.
Or the top. You think it was the top?
It changed their name to the top.
Yeah.
So like I think it was the top back then. Like so we get there, like it takes forever for us to perform. I think they would promise everybody free alcohol like for the drink. That didn't happen. Like get to the bar and they're like, yeah, it's like $6.50. I'm like, yeah.
Facts.
Takes us like hours to perform. So I don't know if he remember this, but I remember this. I'm trying to get on stage and I actually slipped. Like so immediately I know this is about to not go well. Like I like stepped on stage and I like slipped in front of like people. I didn't bust my ass, but it was, you seen that shit. So I'm like, shit, all right, cool, it's whatever. Then I'm pretty sure we had the chord mics, which I fucking can't stand performing with chord mics. So as we perform one of our songs, my chord actually falls out. And for like a good portion, I know my shit coming up, and I don't recognize it until like I'm at the middle of the verse, because I'm trying to do like unders for him and like shit, and I'm like, yo, why am I hitting myself? And I'm just like, oh shit, bro. Like the fucking chord's on the ground. So I like snag the chord and like catch it like in time for my verse. Like do that shit. And then like the music was fucking up in the back. It was a bunch of wild shit. Oh, then we had another one with him. See how I'm performing this nigga? Nah, I love this nigga. But we had another one to where he had it was like a day drink event, and we had the worst DJ of all time. The worst DJ of all time. Got there late, then he was cool, you know what I'm saying, do conversation, you know what I'm saying, smokes. So I was like, all right, bro, cool, smoke. Then he's setting up shit, he forgot like a speaker, then like he forgot like a couple chords, and it was like, what the fuck going on? Same shit happened, we tried to perform, and then music's fucking up, stopping. I think we had to like stop like early. Shit was stupid, man. It had so much potential. It was like a dope event.
Shit was rocking too. That's the craziest
part. Worst DJ of all time. I don't remember him, but no shout out to you, bro.
DJs or live bands will make or break your open mic.
For sure.
Period.
I guess for me, my best performance was probably back in Lynchburg. So this one night, they basically had an open mic type thing, and they invited me there. I had just finished the project, so I had like 10 minutes of leftover bars, you know. When I used to just like bars and bars and bars and bars. So, I think that speaker's dying. But I had so much leftover bars, and they were like, we just rapping. We coming in there to rap. And I was like, oh shit. I was mad confident at the time, you know. So I went up in there, and these niggas kind of whack. And it was just one guy on the drums playing the beats over and over. I was like, oh, this is boom bap shit. I was like, yeah. I went there and rapped for like 6 or 7 minutes, and then niggas went nuts. You know what I'm saying? And it was fire. Worst performance was probably I think in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was a few months after that basically. This club promoter hits me up because one of my friends I think moved out there and told him about me. He hits me up and he's hyping this shit out of his club. He's like, yo, you gotta come through perform. Basically same type of setup or whatever. He's like, nah, but there's gonna be mad people there. I've been handing out flyers all around city all week. Like, hype the hell out of this thing to me. I drive 5 hours over there. There's like 20 people there. There's like 20 people in the crowd total. It's at a bar too. I wasn't 21 yet, so the bartender's like, "I know you're not 21." As soon as I got there,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, bro. So,
He's a slut.
So I was like, "Damn." I was like, "Somebody get me here and rap for these 20 people." And the beats, same type of shit. The beats they was playing up there, it wasn't boom bap shit. They was trying to be on some super new school shit, but the DJ is just. He was playing his own beats.
She was a DJ.
He was playing his own
He's trying to get
beats.
his shit
Yeah. And so I gave it a couple minutes, but I was just like, I think there's somebody took a video and I'm just saying on there like, yo, I can't rap to this shit, but I'm out. After like a few minutes, I was like, bro, I ain't doing this shit no more.
Damn, nigga.
Yeah, that was my most performance.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Mikey?
I don't know. Worst performance? Shout out to the speaker.
Shout out to the speaker.
You heard me first time.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Relax. The worst performance, I don't know if you remember this, but when we went to Baltimore and we did an open mic performance for a collective of people, and we were young in the game, but
I lost my favorite jacket that day.
super confident. So like we came in well prepared, like, we got our songs ready to go, we wanted to do our thing, and it was nowhere near like prepared we thought it would be. Like there was 3 of us and we had one mic. It was a corded mic that would go in and out.
And that bitch was stuck to the stand.
And you couldn't move the mic, so you imagine 3 dudes around one mic like we was a boy band, like, you know what I'm saying, killing it, like. So that was interesting. Definitely built adversity, but it kind of showed that we were early in the game type stuff.
Yeah, that was super early.
You know what I'm saying?
That was like 2013.
Super, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then flash forward, I guess my best performance would be my most recent one. I did my most latest single that was doing pretty well, so I showed it off to a bunch of people in the club. But I can only do one song, but I was glad I did that one song just based on the reaction. People were kind of reacting to the song, and just having people fully engaged in a song that you make is kind of like a different feeling. You know what I mean? Like even if you have them for 2.5 minutes, but have people locked in for that 2.5 minutes, just kind of show that you were doing something right. So I'd probably say that's my favorite performance so far.
That's lit, because I was about you to say that was your least favorite.
Oh no, like I mean, given the situation, yeah, it sucked, but like I got to do that one song. But when I did that one song, it just had a genuine reaction to that one song. You know what I mean? So it just makes you think. Like, imagine if I had a 10-minute set. Imagine,
crazy.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's fire though. Alright, ready to slide out?
Yeah, I feel like that was a good introduction.
It was.
It was. I got to know us a little bit. I can't tell you everything.
I've been in front of the camera in a hot minute.
Now you got some more in time, you know what I'm saying? That's how it
Right.
is.
So hit us up, like we said, for the interviews, the visuals, the music reviews, the charging of the speaker,
For sure.
and whatever else you need, we got it. We do flyers, okay? If you need flyers, we need to promote something, hit us up with that too. And definitely tune in Monday at 7 p.m. We're going to be interviewing Monty, all right? So it's definitely going to be lit. Appreciate y'all. And yeah, this is Poetry and Politics and versus Jetsons.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.